Hello everybody, welcome to this week's video. This week we're going to be featuring fixing a water leak. We probably have anywhere from 5 to 10 miles of water lines scattered throughout our whole property, most of which we kind of put in ourselves, and occasionally we spring a leak, so we have to dig them up and repair them. But the first step in this process is obviously turning the water off. We have valves scattered all throughout the farm that help us kind of control where the water goes so we can fix leaks if they do come up. So this valve turns off a line that's probably half a mile long, which is where our water leak is. A part of the farm my father calls the landmine because it's extremely rocky and it's pretty much the only water line that we do end up actually fixing most of the time. So now that the water's turned off, we'll go back up and take a look to see what my father's up to. Up here in the field, you can see my father has our ditch witch machine out, kind of finding the water line. That's the second step of repairing it. We have to dig down several feet below the frost line where we have our water lines running. So usually we can see where the water is coming up out of the ground, so it makes it easier for us to identify where the pipe is. But once we're kind of in the area, we have to dig a little bit to try to find the actual pipe down to the ground. So that's what we're currently doing. Here's some of the equipment that we use to repair our water lines. We used to use barbed fittings, but with a pipe that's about 1.25 inches and a couple millimeters thick, it was always pretty hard to kind of get those barbed fittings actually into the pipe and get them clamped on. We used to have to use heating torches to kind of heat the plastic up a little bit to get it to expand enough for us to get those fittings in. And then we came across these more compression fittings, which each of these fittings is probably about $50. It saves us a lot of time and headache. They just kind of unscrew a little bit. You shove the pipe into the end of it, then you just kind of tighten it down then with some of our wrenches. So then these don't come off, they stay in place for years to come. We've started using these, like I said, because they're a lot easier. They are more expensive, but the cost kind of outweighs the old way of doing it. tightened up on the other end too. So this was the culprit. This is how much of the pipe was actually burst. I'll try to zoom in and show you a picture in a little bit. But just this little crack in this pipe made this field really wet and kind of muddy. So you can kind of zoom in, you can kind of see the crack inside that pipe, maybe. If not, I can try to cut the pipe in half and show you then. But that's all it takes. And this pipe has just been sitting in the ground probably 7 years or so, and just the compression of all the weight of the earth on top of it pinned against the rock caused that little bit of crack. So we did all this for this little bitty piece of pipe today. Well, that's this week's video on how to repair a water line. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel down below. That way you kind of see and stay up to date on everything we have going on. You can also comment down below on any other things you'd like to see around the farm. Everything we do is not revolved around cute little calves or baby chickens, so it kind of gives you insight on other things that we do around the farm as well. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you again next week.